Hello friends, welcome. You are live with Carrie here at Whimsy Stamps YouTube. I'm so glad you're here with me. So I hope you're all ready for a fantastic Easter weekend and looking forward to being with family and friends. But before all the festivities start, I thought it would be fun to make an Easter card together. So let's go ahead and switch our camera and take a look at our project. Okay. There we go. So here is an Easter card that I've made for this Easter season, and I just thought it was so cute. I wanted to share it. I was really in the mood to work with soft pastels, so that's kind of how this card came about. So the way I started, let's go ahead and look at our products. I'm going to be using this really fun bunny butt, which you've probably seen a lot of the different design team people using this one this spring because it is such a fun little die set. And I paired it with the Eggstra Special stamp set, which is just lots of eggs and fun Easter greetings. Then I'm also using this one, and I've got it upside down because the bottom of my thing is open. If I hold it right side up, I'm liable to spill it all. But this one is called the Slimline Fancy Frame, and I'll be using that today. And then to get my grass, I'm going to be using this long, beautiful grass piece that comes in the Build a Garden, a Fairy Garden. So those are all the sets that we will be using. So to begin, let's go through our die cuts, which there's not too many, but I went ahead and I die cut the Slimline Fancy Frame from some white glitter foam. Now, if you don't have glitter foam, you could definitely just cut this out of white cardstock or any other color that you wanted to make your frame out of. But I kind of like this glittery foam. It provides just a little bit of dimension on your card. And you can pick this foam up at most of the box stores and things. And on the back, I have gone ahead and put some double-sided adhesive around the entire piece. All right. And I also cut myself a piece of the grass from our garden fairy, or fairy garden. I don't know why I mixed that up. But this one, and I just cut it out of green, and I made it the length to fit here in my frame. So I can measure that for you real quickly. Looks like, I got it upside down. That's about 7 3/4 inch. So for my frame, I wanted to have a piece to fit underneath. So I just used my paper cutter to cut myself a piece of white cardstock at 7 3/4 by 2 3/4. And that is going to be the piece that we're going to blend on, and that's going to make my background to go inside my frame. All right, I also, with my die cuts here, I die cut our little bunny body, and this is his little bottom, and I die cut his tail out of some really shiny glitter paper. And I just thought that would be fun to add an extra glittery bit. You could use lots of other things. You could even use foam, fuzzy paper, all kinds of different things. Then for his little feet, I cut it out twice, once in white and once in pink. And when we get ready to put him together, we will layer those up and put him together. So, all right, so the first thing we're going to do, now that we've got all of our dies made, is we're going to go ahead and ink our sky. And so for my sky today, I wanted, like I said, I was really in the mood for soft pastels. If you're here with me today, I would love it if you go ahead and say hi there in the chat. I would love to visit with you while we craft. And so I chose a couple of oxides, and I'm going with Scattered Straw and Kitsch Flamingo. So this is one of my favorite ways to make a spring sky, is to combine pink and yellow. I just think it's so pretty. So I'm going to begin with my Kitsch Flamingo. And about in the middle of my cardstock here, I'm just going to start giving myself some sky. There we go. And only a very little bit of this is going to show. So we're just going to build this up right up into there. And you only have to go about halfway up. Right, now I'm going to come in with the scattered straw. Hello, Bonnie. How are you today? Oh, you like the pink and yellow? I do too. I just love it. So I'm going to go ahead and come in from the top on this, and I'm going to mix together my Kitsch Flamingo and my scattered straw. Now I'm going to come back with my Kitsch Flamingo and just do some more blending together of those. And I'm going to go ahead and bring that pink pretty far up, because once we put our eggs on, if your pink is too low, you're not going to see any of it, because the eggs, you can see here on my original, you know, only a very little show. So you want your blended line to be pretty high up so that you get a little bit of both colors. And I just love blending these two colors. I think they make such a pretty blend, so I could play with this and a long time, but in interest of time, I'll call this ready to go. So there we go. Okay, now, oh, here it is. Laid my pieces over here. So I'm going to take my grass, and on the back of my grass, I have gone ahead and added some double-sided adhesive as well. Oh, thank you, Maya. Yes. Are you all ready for Easter? I have to tell you, I'm a little bit, what's the right word? Kind of discombobulated this year. Things are going, it's just a really busy time of year for our family. So that must be why I'm, can't find my words today. Okay. So the way I'm going to do this, I put my double-sided adhesive back there. I'm going to go ahead and take off just the bottom row of double-sided adhesive. That way I can go ahead and add my grass. There we go. So now that is all ready to go. I've got my grass, and I went ahead and added my double-sided on my grass, so it's still all ready to add to my card when I'm ready. But I'm not ready to do that quite yet, so I'm just going to set this down. See how pretty that's coming together? But I'm not going to stick anything down. I'm going to set these two aside, and we're going to start with our eggs. So definitely with these eggs, they would be really fun to color with your Copics and things like that, but I just wanted some soft pastels, and I kind of wanted a tone-on-tone look. So I decided the best way to get that was to do colored cardstock. And for some reason, I don't have any yellow, but that's okay. Well, I just won't show you the yellow one. There we go. I must have dropped my yellow. Set that side a piece. So for my colors today, I chose some ink colors that I have. Of course, you could use any inks that you like, that you have in your stash. You only made one Easter card? Yeah, me too. I just have been a little behind. So these are my colors. I'm going to go ahead and show you the yellow, even though I don't have a yellow cardstock. But these were my color palette for today. And I just love these soft spring colors together. And I decided to stamp on the color cardstock in a coordinating color. And I wanted to keep it fairly soft. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And it doesn't matter if my stamp does not come out perfectly. We'll just skip that one because I don't have it. So we'll go on to the next. Because I am okay. Well, let me get a little more on there. You just need to be able to see the whole image, because we're going to color this and cut it out. So it, you know, if it's not a perfect stamp, that's okay. Now this one, it wasn't only not perfect, I couldn't see it. You do have to be able to see it because we're going to color it in. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and make my blue one like the yellow, just so I don't have to clean my stamp. Normally this would be the yellow one. It doesn't really, it won't make any difference which egg you do which way. And then our final one here will be our pastel purple. All right. So you can see how stamping them in a coordinating color on colored cardstock is going to give us those soft colors without having to color them all up. But I did choose some Copic markers here, and the RV13, and I just went through and chose ones that would match my papers. The YR14, the YG13, the BG11, and then this one is the BV00. And for my yellow, I use the Y13. Now you might choose different colors depending on the colors of your paper, but this is how I went about it. Thank you. There's something about spring and soft pastels. You just get ready after fall colors and winter colors. It's like you've been working with those deeper colors. It's like it brings out the pastels. So I just chose to color up just a portion of each egg. And I'm not going to do all of them for you. We're just going to work on this pink one, and I'll show you all the steps, and then we'll finish constructing our card. But on each one, I just chose with the marker to color up my eggs, keeping that tone on tone that I was going for. Because on my total card, it's not really about the eggs, it's more about my bunny. So I wasn't looking to make my eggs to steal the show. I just wanted them to be the fun background. So once I got each one, and each one I colored in the circles, the zigzags, the different things. But once I got that colored in, then I came in with some crystal lacquer. You can also use some glossy accents, but any one of these products that give you that fun shine. I'll go ahead and use this one for now. I always have to use a pen to unclog it, because no matter how much I try to keep it ready to go. Sorry, I've got lots of pens over here, but they're all too gummed up. Sorry. There we go. Here's one. Just going to pop that down in there. Get that open. Okay. Hopefully that did the trick. I don't know. There we go. If anybody has a trick on how to keep that from happening, I would love to know what it is, because it always gets gummed up really bad. Okay, so once I just put a little bit of the crystal lacquer here on my block, and I keep this block specifically for doing things like this. And then I have a little paintbrush that this is my paintbrush that I only use for this technique. And now I'm going to paint my little stripes here with my crystal lacquer. So this was a fun way to give some interest to my eggs without compromising my tone-on-tone color that I wanted for my overall look. So all the places that I colored with the marker, I also painted it with the crystal lacquer. So my paintbrush that I use for crystal lacquer, I always keep it in a cup of water. So once I'm done using it, I just drop it back in the water, and it'll be ready to go for next time. So while my crystal lacquer is still wet, I'm going to come in with some glitter and go ahead and add some glitter, and that's going to stick to my crystal lacquer and give my eggs a really fun shine. All right, so at this point, I would set them aside to dry. Oh boy, I got a little bit of that crystal lacquer on my finger. And that'll make my hand sticky all day. Okay, there we go. All right, so once I did that to all my eggs, here we go. We have all the eggs ready to go, including the yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in rainbow order. And there's all my shiny eggs with the tone in tone and the glittered up and colored with the markers. So that is how I made my eggs. So I'm going to go ahead and set my eggs aside. And the next thing we're going to do is to make our bunny's head. So you can see here on my card, my bunny has ears and kind of the back of his head. But in the die set, it just makes the bunny bottom. But here in our stamp set, we have some ears that you can put on the eggs. Sorry, my camera's back a little far. I'll move back a little bit. So I'm using these 2 ears right here. And they're a little small to actually fit my bunny bottom. So let me show you how I overcame that. Let's see here. We'll just use one of these. I'm going to go ahead and use the yellow because it's my palest color. But I took my bunny ears and I placed them on my block how far apart I wanted them to be. And now I'm going to stamp them right there on my paper. All right. But I know they're kind of too small, so I'm going to make his head kind of how I want it. And now I'm going to kind of just trace, making his ears bigger. All right. Now we'll go ahead and cut that out. And most of this is going to be down under his body, so all right, so just like that. We have our bunny ears. Now, obviously, we don't want this part. It's going to be the back of his head. We don't want to see his inner ears or anything. So I'm just going to flip that over. And when we put our bunny together, it'll be apart. Now, I want his little head to be separated. I don't want to glue it straight on. So I'm going to add some foam in there in order to create that dimension for us. Grab my foam here. Put a little piece right here on the back of his head. And position his little backside. Let's see, I think I want it this way. There's a little bit of shape to it, so you can kind of decide how you want it. And I'm going to put his tail so it's just a little bit up off his bottom. Now, for his feet, I'm going to go ahead, and when I die cut this, I ran this through so that all my pieces stayed together. And now I'm just going to glue the white pieces onto the pink. Okay. Just like that. So it is die cut all the way through. I just didn't punch them out so that it would make it easier for me to glue this on and get those pieces just right in the right place. And now I'm going to go ahead and punch the Bigfoot on out, but I'm not punching out the little pink ones. I want the little pink ones to stay in place. So I'm going to turn these over, and then I'm going to take a small piece of my double-sided adhesive and just kind of put that on there so that all my little pink pieces stay in place. You don't want any of his little toes falling out. So this will just hold it all in place. All right, so now let's go ahead and finish our bunny up by adding our feet. this one to be over on this side, and I'm going to put this one over on this side. And I am just going to glue these right to his body. Hold those in place. He's a fun little rabbit to put together because his body is, whoops. Yeah, you know what? I've got that double-sided adhesive. I'm just going to go ahead and use it. There we go. So for Easter, my family always travels up to Dallas for a competition that the kids take place in. So my kids aren't in the competition anymore, but my daughter signed up to do the food. So my daughter and I are leaving today to go up to Dallas for a competition. And we will be up there until Easter Sunday, and we will come back late on Sunday. So that's what we're doing for our Easter weekend. Do you have plans for your Easter weekend? So there we go. We've got our sweet little bunny ready to be hidden amongst our eggs. So here I've got my little frame. We've got each of our pieces. We just don't have it all together yet. So I want to get my words that I'm going to use for my sentiment, and we're going to get those placed where we want them. So first I'm going to place my eggs. And like I said, I kind of wanted those in rainbow order. And then here will be our bunny. Oops, better lower them down. This is why you need to lay it out before you go, because you want to see where you want to stamp. Go ahead and move our bunny off. All right, and we're going to put expressing. And then Easter wishes. All right. Straighten them up a little bit. I can move my eggs off, but that helps me just get my placement where I want it. All right, now I'm going to grab my Misty. Place this right in here. Just going to check to make sure I have that straight. I think so. It's kind of hard to tell today. Okay. Double check. Yeah. All right. And I think I'm going to go ahead and stamp that in the cummerbund color, which is my lightest blue. And I wanted to do it in my Misty because I almost always have to do this color a couple times. All right. Ooh, yeah, I love that. I love that blue on the pink sky. Here. Now we just need to put it all together, which will not take us long at all. So we're going to lay our eggs back out. All right, I think that looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and glue them down. Do I have to hold them just a second? Because with that, I've got them glittered so heavily. There we go. I'm going to leave a pretty big gap here for our bunny. And I went ahead and tilted some of my eggs one way and the other way just to kind of give a little more interest back there. Just a little more glue right there. All right, we're ready to add our frame. I'm just going to go ahead and pull off that double-sided adhesive that I've already added to the back. Whenever I'm attaching the glitter foam or any other foam, I always use double-sided adhesive rather than glue. Okay, just going to place that right over, press it down. And for my card back today, I decided to put this one on a purple background. On my original, I chose yellow, and honestly, I held it up to every color of the eggs, and I liked it on all of them. So each one kind of gives a little bit of a different look, but they all are beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this down to my backing piece, my frame. Hopefully I got that square. All right, and now we get to add our little bunny. And I am going to pop him up with foam. This is a double thick foam, and I think I want a thinner foam. So this is my thinner foam. You can kind of see there. Do you have a pair of scissors that you use just with foam, or do you use the same scissors for everything? Put that right there. I have certain scissors that I use with foam. So I'm going to position him right there so his ears pop up over my frame and his feet come out over the bottom. And I have my double-sided adhesive here on his feet that I will take off, and that will stick there on the frame. There we go. Position him right in there. All right, there we go. And I have made a card base that he will go right on here. So this was a really fun Easter card to make. Nothing difficult, but I really like the way it turned out. I think the kids are going to really enjoy these. I'm going to go ahead and make several more to put in with some little Easter baskets that I have made for the kiddos that are in our family, and I think they will just be super cute. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me today to make this fun card. Let me switch camera back real quick. Thanks for being with me, and I hope whatever you're doing for this Easter weekend that you have a fantastic time visiting with family and friends and just enjoy this season of life. So I will see you again next Thursday at noon, and thanks again for being with me. Have a great day. Bye-bye.